英雄要付出代价的，也为何不必？
因为不怕，
为何不怕？
不怕，就是不怕。
Facing a red-hot iron rod, the other rookies kept backing away in fear, but I did not even blink. That pleased Boss Jack a lot. Next came the assassination test. Boiling water at thousands of degrees poured onto our hands. Not a single person could last more than 2 seconds. Only I closed my eyes tight. Even though the boiling water had left my hand badly burned, I did not show a hint of pain. Instead, I drank the boiling water right in front of Jack. At that moment, Jack said whoever could take the head of the North Sea Gang leader could become Jack's fourth sworn son. Hearing that, I went alone to the North Sea Gang to kill him. Their boss Tony had been famous for years. When he saw the newcomer was a kid barely in his 20s, he did not take me seriously at all, so he prepared to use his signature move to kill me. But he did not expect my footwork to be so agile. A single acrobatic flip neutralized his attack. Tony showed a look of terror, so he hit harder, but I used my movement, and at the right moment, I grabbed the back of his blade tight. With Tony drawing his sword, I used the gap. I swung a heavy punch straight into his face. Then I moved behind Tony. I leapt up and threw another punch. Tony suffered a heavy head trauma and both his eyes were bloodshot. I took the chance to snatch his big knife and spun to finish him with one strike. But Tony dodged it cleanly. The blade stabbed into the wall behind it in an instant. Then I used the shadowless fist I had trained 10 years for. I beat Tony back step by step. The blade sliced across his neck in a flash. But just as I had wrapped up Tony's head, the North Sea Gang men surrounded the whole restaurant. I did not want to get bogged down with them, so I grabbed a random guy and jumped down with him. With him as a buffer, I took no damage. Just as I was getting up to leave, hundreds of people suddenly appeared on both sides of the alley.
What's this?
Rice balls.
You made them yourself. What's the brown stuff?
Chocolate. Makes everything taste better. Rika?
You stupid girl!
Rika, apologize to our guest.
I'm so sorry.
You dropped my food. Delicious. Now you eat one and apologize to the girl. Do you know who I am? A shithead Marine with a bad haircut. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, come on, tough guy. 3 swords? I only need one.
Okay. But it's gonna hurt.
That devours people. Once it locks onto someone, they're trapped, and the previous owner turns to dust. The only way to break free is to pass the box to someone else. When Dr. Ellis first saw the box, he sensed something was wrong, but he didn't think much of it, and just told his assistant to keep an eye on it. The assistant wasn't so lucky though. Under pressure from the current owner, he took the box, and it locked onto him immediately. By the time he realized what was happening, it was too late. He watched in horror as the 2 previous owners crumbled into dust and vanished. The assistant had already passed the box to a lizard creature. When Dr. Ellis tracked down the box again and tried to reach his assistant, all he heard was his assistant's final desperate words. He said he wouldn't let the doctor down, and then he turned to dust too. That's when Dr. Ellis realized how serious this was. The doctor's attention caught the lizard creature's notice. It tried to make Dr. Ellis take the box, but the doctor stayed on guard. A heavy-set girl named Clara was standing nearby, watching them face off. Suddenly, she rushed forward and grabbed the box. She said this was her room, and told them both to leave. The next second, Clara asked what this thing was. The box had already taken control of her. The lizard creature snapped out of it instantly. He had no idea what he'd just been doing, only that he'd almost disappeared. Clara was about to rush out the door to pass the box along. Dr. Ellis tried to stop her and opened the box to save her. Inside, he was shocked to find the seed of a star. What was worse, the box issued a warning. It said to reseal the box within 20 seconds, or the current holder would be turned to dust. Only 20 seconds left, and Dr. Ellis frantically searched for a solution. Time was running out, and he still hadn't found an answer. Clara begged him desperately to close the box, so Dr. Ellis told her to be quiet, and said he didn't like being questioned. Then he shut the box, but the danger wasn't over. The box popped open a password slot. It demanded a 4-digit security code, or the current owner would still be destroyed. A 15-second countdown began. Dr. Ellis suddenly had an idea. His present self didn't know the code, but his future self did. At that critical moment, the future Dr. Ellis appeared. He said the password was 7214. Clara asked in confusion who he was, but because of the rules of causality, the present Dr. Ellis was now trapped in this timeline. He would have to pay a heavy price to complete the time loop and become his future self. He had to let time pass naturally until next Christmas. Otherwise, he'd be stuck in this room forever.
And I fell for a drug dealer. To win his affection, every Friday I'd drive out to the woods on the edge of town, where we'd hook up in my car. Today, while we were having our secret rendezvous, a woman happened to pass by. After stumbling onto our little secret, she, a reporter no less, whipped out her camera and started snapping away. Completely oblivious, I straightened out my clothes and handed over the confiscated powder to the dealer so he could sell it and we could split the profit. But this time, the payment was off. Just as I was chewing him out for screwing up, a phone started ringing inside the car. After fishing around, I found a hidden cell phone. It was recording. The dealer had been trying to get dirt on me this whole time. Realizing he'd been caught, he threw the powder in my face to blind me, jumped out of the car, and made a run for it. I calmly stepped out, drew my service weapon, and ended his life with a single shot. The woman hiding behind a nearby tree witnessed the whole thing. When I heard her camera hit the ground, I spotted her. She took off running. Things had spiraled completely out of control. I called my captain and filled him in. He told me to stay calm. All I had to do was find the woman and take care of her. He was even sending backup. After searching for what felt like forever, I still couldn't find her. Frustrated, I called out to her.
Listen, I don't know what you think you saw, but I'm a cop, alright? I ain't gonna hurt you.
My voice echoing through the trees, hearing what sounded like genuine remorse in my words. The terrified woman emerged, begging me to spare her life. I slowly walked over and helped her to her feet, telling her I'd take her to the station to sort this out. That's when my partner's voice crackled over the radio.
Did you find that stray cat and put her down?
The moment she heard it, she tried to bolt. I caught on fast, wrapped my arm around her neck, and tried to strangle her. She bit down hard on my arm and broke free, sprinting into the distance. Luckily, my partner cut her off. I raised my gun, ready to finish her. Just then, a rock hit the ground nearby, drawing my attention. Suddenly, I heard the unmistakable sound of a gun being cocked behind me. Under this mystery person's orders, I dropped my weapon and slowly got on my knees. My partner was convinced the stranger wouldn't actually shoot. He even started getting cocky and stood up. Called on his bluff, the mystery man told the woman to run. I immediately grabbed my gun and opened fire. If they hadn't run so fast, they'd both be...
Arm grow back. The doctor came up with a brilliant idea to combine the lizard's regenerative factor with human biology. After several experiments, he finally produced a vial of the serum. He injected the serum into his body, enduring the pain, and soon passed out. When he woke up groggily, he found his white shirt soaked with cold sweat. As he moved, he instinctively grabbed the edge of the table and realized his long-lost right arm was gone no more. The once empty sleeve was now filled with thick, forming tissue. Connor could hardly contain his excitement and quickly tore open the forming tissue. Beneath, the new skin was smooth and pale, stretched tight over sturdy new muscle. Raising his arm, he could almost hear the sound of bones forming with a faint cracking. Pain surged through him, yet he let out a laugh mixed with tears. He grabbed his phone to call the executive at Oscorp, but before he could speak, a sharp headache struck him, followed by intense dizziness. Connor's face went pale. He knew the serum was unstable and not yet safe for human use. He immediately threw on a long coat, dashed out of the building, and hailed a taxi, urgently instructing the driver to head for the Golden Gate Bridge. He had to retrieve the serum from the executive to prevent a catastrophe. By now, the doctor's skin had begun transforming into gray-green scaly tissue. Clawed knuckles protruded from his fingertips. It wasn't just his arm. His entire body was quietly mutating. Elsewhere, summoning all his courage, he decided to reveal the secret he had kept hidden to Gwen. As he spoke, he lightly shot webs. Gwen's eyes widened, unable to believe that this boy, whom she had both loved and worried for, was Spider-Man. But the sweet moment lasted only seconds before Gwen's mother called her home. At that moment, police sirens wailed, and red and blue lights flashed up the stairs, as if fate was knocking on the door of battle again. A broadcast announced that an unknown creature had been spotted in the bridge area, and that police were fully sealing off the scene. Meanwhile, on the bridge, the Oscorp executive sat in his car complaining about traffic. But before he could react, the entire bridge descended into chaos. Passengers scattered, and the air was thick with the smell of gasoline and burning plastic. Then, with a tremendous roar, a shadow leapt up from beneath the bridge. Its green skin glimmered coldly in the darkness. At this moment, it was already too late for the executive.
The mother ape a makeover. But suddenly, the ape lunges forward and grabs the door tight. She just won't let him open it. The man tries to force the door open. The ape immediately grabs his arm. Luckily, a colleague nearby rushes over and barely manages to save the guy's arm. Jimmy looks back at the ape, confused, and sees she's calmed down and crawled under the bed. No idea why she suddenly went berserk. To play it safe, they bring out the ape's favorite orange soda. As soon as the ape gets close to the soda, they suddenly throw open the door. The man's ready to catch the ape's neck with a catch pole, but the ape's insanely aggressive. She snatches the pole right away. Then she tries to rush back to her room, only to find Jimmy's already shut the door. The enraged ape turns around, ready to attack, but when she sees Jimmy pulling out a tranquilizer gun and loading it, she doesn't have time for anything else. She just bolts out the lab door, crashes through a glass panel on the way, and bursts into the conference room. This completely humiliates the company executives. Security shows up and shoots the ape dead. Just like that, the company declares the project a failure and decides to destroy all the experimental apes. Jimmy's in charge of disposing of these apes, but he discovers something shocking. The ape went crazy because she was protecting her newborn baby. Turns out, this ape was already pregnant before she was brought to the lab. Jimmy can't bring himself to destroy this newborn life, so he secretly hands the baby ape to the project leader, letting Jack decide whether to destroy it or not. Jack's put 5 years into this project. Of course he can't do it, so he decides to take the baby ape home and raise it, and puts it in the care of his father, who has Alzheimer's. The next day, to his surprise, when his father feeds the baby ape, he notices the little ape is incredibly smart, and its eyes have a green glow just like its mother's. 3 years go by, with Jack and his father's careful care. The baby ape not only grows into a strong young guy, but its intelligence far exceeds normal apes. At 18 months, it learns sign language. At 2 years old, its intelligence is already equivalent to an 8-year-old kid, easily completing all kinds of intelligence tests and tasks. And at 3 years old, the little ape Caesar's chess skills even surpass Jack's. Jack starts to realize that experiment back then wasn't really a failure. Soon after, seeing his father's dementia getting worse and worse, Jack secretly takes a few vials of the experimental drug Caesar's mother was injected with from the lab. He gives his father one injection. The next day, he's amazed to find his father's dementia has miraculously improved. He can't wait to share this this good news with Caesar, but discovers Caesar's missing. They rush out to the street to search everywhere. Caesar's just playing in the neighbor's yard. He wanted to play with the neighbor's little girl, but the girl starts screaming in fear. The girl's father comes out with a stick. As he's swinging the stick at Caesar, Jack and his father rush over and rescue Caesar just in time. However, they notice Caesar has a wound on his leg. Jack quickly takes Caesar to the vet to have the beautiful Dr. Caroline treat his wound. The moment Caesar sees Caroline, he takes a strong interest in her and insists that Jack invite Caroline to dinner. Just like that, with Caesar playing wingman, he helps Jack score a girlfriend for free. Caroline sees Caesar's room is kind of small and suggests Jack take Caesar to the forest more often. The first time in the forest, Caesar completely falls in love with the feeling of running free through the woods, climbing to the top of the tallest redwood tree, gazing out at the...
Check out my weird dick!
Here, babe.
Calvin, it's me, Bob.
What? Sir, do I know you?
Robbie Weirdick from high school.
Are you kidding? What? God, man, look at you. You lost like 200 pounds. Go away, hey, sir. Somebody's actually sitting there.
Yes, someone was. It's time for you to get out of here, pal.
It's for my stuff, guy.
Yeah, no, I got that. Alright, well, before this whole thing goes down, you should know one thing about me.
What's that?
They try to take my floor, I take their ass for ransom.
I don't like bullies.
They see me